Hey guys, I'm Aurena.fohler. I'm a psychic, I'm a holistic life coach and healer. Starseed, that means I have the ability to read and see energies, and I can tell you within seconds what the problem is of whatever it is, be it like physical, psychology, like soul, body, mind and soul. I work on all levels. So today I would like to talk about what happens if you lose your job, right? Or if you get fired, or if you want to quit because you're just so unhappy. And I know the very first thing is that it's like you feel fear. This tremendous, huge amount of fear, because it's about your existence, like it's about your life, it's about you being able maybe to feed your children, to feed yourself, to have a roof on your head, to have a bed where you can sleep in, and not to go to friends or strangers and have to beg for food or shelter. I think that's the worst, that's the nightmare we all have. Because we grew up in a society where everyone tells us, you need to work hard, you need to work and provide food and shelter and da-da-da-da-da, and you need to have a car and a house and a boat and whatever. But now, first of all is, when you work and work and work and work, for whom do you work? For the money? Or do you work because, are you happy with your work? Have you ever asked you those questions? Have you ever figured out and thought about, like, instead of buying a Gucci bag or Hugo Boss shoes for like $800, maybe you can just buy normal shoes, which are also like very trendy and nice, and it's unique and it's your own style, and for half the amount, like $400, you can live in a beautiful nice flat or little house, and you can travel with that other money, like the other $400, you can travel or buy something which is like for your hobby, and you can start painting like what I do. Or maybe you just go for a massage instead of like working 18 hours a day or 12 hours a day. You work like maybe 8 hours or maybe even 6 hours. You make half the money, but you spend it on different things. Now let's say you have a workplace and you're very unhappy, and you get mobbed a lot, and you're like about to have a burnout, and you know there's something special about you, and the other people know it as well, but it's like always you have this, it's like this kind of jealousy, and they want to put you down, and there's something off here, because you speak your truth, maybe because you feel like you want to stand up for the right things and you want to help everyone. First of all, remember there's you. Without you, nothing is happening, nothing is functioning. When you go to work and you speak your truth, which you absolutely should, set your clear boundaries, feel the value of who you are, because the people, your employees, your colleagues, your boss, they're not bad people, but they are just reacting to your vibration. If you feel you are worthless, they're going to react to you and give you the feeling of you're absolutely worthless. You have no value in the company, even though you're working like more than other people do. Let's say you have an issue with about standing up and showing your light and showing who you are. And you have this fear that whatever you do, it's not good enough. I would like to do like few visualizations with you. First of all one is when someone fires you, have you ever thought about that you're giving space to someone who maybe can do that job much better than you will ever be able to do it, because you never liked it in the first place? The second is, maybe they're firing you because in hindsight, the universe, God, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, whoever it is, maybe they have different plans for you. And maybe there's a job out there which is just fitting you 100%, and it makes you happy, and you make that decent amount of money which is good for you and your family, and which is maybe even connected to traveling, if you're like a fan of traveling, and you would have never thought about it if you would be stuck in the old company. And maybe because of the biggest failure in life, we start becoming very successful because we have to be brave and we have to trust in ourselves and we have to get to know ourselves. And maybe, there are many maybes, right? Because I want you to start thinking and feeling, when you get mobbed in your job, does it remember you? Does it remind you of your childhood, of how your parents were treating you, how your brother and sister were treating you? And maybe that means you need to focus on that and get a healing done and release those emotions and remember, hey, you're an adult now, you're not a child anymore. People maybe attack you, but at the same time, you can be loving and kind, but also straightforward and honest and tell them and set your boundaries and say, hey, that's enough, I don't want that anymore. And yeah, if you don't treat me the way I deserve it, maybe I just want to leave. If I don't get my money raise, and you can see your boss is like driving a Ferrari, and you don't even have money for buying a bun for your child, then maybe there's something totally off, and maybe you should start thinking about, like, is this like even, you should ask for a money raise and you're not doing it? Why? You're scared that that man will die when he doesn't get a Ferrari because he's paying you the salary? There's something called balance and justice, but it starts with yourself. And when you figured out and you understood and realized that you're very valuable, that you're very important, and it always starts with yourself, that you can have any job in the world you want to have. Okay, let me give a little story about myself. I was working, actually I always wanted to study, but my foster family said, no, you have to work and make money because one day when you get married, you should have money for dowry. And I was like, what? But I started working, do you know why? Because I wanted to be free and independent. So I got this apprenticeship, which I made a lot of money, but all my money went to the bank account, which I couldn't access, right? So I hardly had any money, and I always felt I felt like a beggar. I felt very poor. I felt very poor because I didn't have the money, which is actually mine, and I couldn't use it. And I did work a lot and I worked hard, but somehow I was unhappy. I loved my job, it was very interesting. But the people in the company, I didn't like them much because it was all about gossiping and trying to challenge each other, and I had to prove myself to them. And I was thinking, why do I have to prove myself to them when I know who I am? So yes, I had lots of challenges because in my foster family, I never got it treated well. And it's not I'm saying sorry about or feeling sorry about myself. It made me stronger. It made me realize what a beautiful person I am. And it made me realize that I can always walk away from people who treat me bad, because there's so many people out there who are wonderful and who love me and who care about me. And the same way, the way I give to them, they will give back to me. And that's how it should be. And that's how work should be. So then one day when I finished my apprenticeship, and they were all like stunned because I had those amazing marks, and they never expected me to have good marks, because the first 2 years I just I was like, yeah, okay, I study so I can go from one class to the next. But then the last quarter I studied a lot, and I was like, okay, I want to have a really good, certificate, right? So that I can apply to other jobs. Okay, so then I took all my lecturing books, I took all my notes, whatever I had from school, kindergarten, apprenticeship, I took it all and I threw it away. Because deep in my heart, I could feel, in my soul, I could feel there's something much better out there. And I will never able to live my life when I'm holding on to the old things I learned, the way I should be, which I don't want to be. And I just threw it away, and I knew whatever I need to know, it's in myself, and I will just have it naturally. And there's so many people out there, which I get offers because they see I do quality work, and whatever I do, it's with passion and it's with my full heart, and I don't need to have good marks. It's good to have good marks, but it's more about how do you execute your work? Do people value you as a person? And again, if someone fires you today, say thank you to that person to give you free and to have the freedom to choose the job you should be at, where your potential is going to be promoted and supported, and where you get the salary which you deserve to get. So I really hope it did help you. If you want any help, support regarding self-worth, letting go of the past, walking into the future, please book a session with me. Please subscribe and follow me and share the videos. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.